Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and I completed Minecraft. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So anybody who's obviously played Minecraft knows it's impossible, so no, I lied. I've not completed Minecraft, but I have rage quit with a million other people after falling in lava. So, moving on. Beer. For the last few weeks I've either been drinking non-alcoholic stuff or really shit stuff, so fingers crossed we've got a good one. So this week's sponsored beer is Wainwright, and from the actual side of it, it's saying it's exquisitely lovely, as well as the top saying it's thoroughly good. So, fingers crossed, I'm actually going to redeem myself with a good beer this week. Also, it's absolutely freezing in this room, and I won't be able to go back outside because it's too cold, so I'm going to have to open it with a screwdriver. Aren't I such a gentleman? Bottoms up. Yes, and that's a good beer. You beauty. That is gorgeous. I should be purchasing more of this. Just grab a good taste, strong ale. Lovely. First bit of news I want to talk about is Microsoft hackings. This one's a particular Microsoft story that I just wanted to just show and tell you about because the service is just really poor. So it started off with the user just simply not being able to log into his account and contacting Microsoft saying that he thinks that somebody is actually taking the account and maybe using it for hacking. And Microsoft says, right, that's fine, fill these paperwork in and we'll get back to you. Now 2 months passed. And in that time, his account was migrated over to Russia. So some Russia's hackers actually got his account, and what they was doing is using his account to hack other accounts and so forth. So he filled in the paperwork, waited 2 months, nothing's happened. So he thought, right, I'm going to have to kick off. So he's put a complaint in. Once the complaint had gone in, so this is 2 months gone now, exceptions analyst contacted him and just simply talk about it and say, what's the issue? And he says, right, that's fine, I'll get the ball rolling, I'll get it sorted for you, which he did do. So he came back and says, yes, it looks like your account was compromised, here's your password, it's been reset, blah, 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 welcome back to Microsoft. And he thought, brilliant, jumped back on, started playing, and instantly got a ban. Now the ban simply says that he's banned for life. So again, contacted Microsoft, and now he's obviously got a contact. He actually phoned the exceptions analyst and spoke to him and says, look, I've been banned. I can only assume the hackers did something bad with my account, but now I'm the actual real user. Could you unban me? And he says, obviously, looking at it, it does look like your account was used to hack another account. But what I'll do is I'll write it up, simply say it was obviously in the hands of some hackers, and hopefully that can be resolved for you. But he did say, obviously, that's a completely different department, and I might not be able to get this sorted. So it went away, came back, and they said, no, zero tolerance, your account has been cancelled. And that's it. So all of his licenses for his games that he's purchased, gone. All his DLC, gone. And his Microsoft points that he did actually have on there, gone. So everything's completely gone. Now this guy was a loyal customer. He never had any other consoles. And even when his Microsoft console died and it red ringed, he went out and purchased another one. So he's always stuck with Microsoft. Now they've just simply turned around and says, nothing we can do. Sorry, your account was used for hacking, even though a hacker had taken over his account. Now, obviously he's angry, he sold his consoles, but he's done a very clever thing. He's obviously wrote it all up and passed it to the media. So that's doing the circuits at the moment with all the gaming news websites. And lo and behold, every time the media get a hold of a good story, Microsoft or wherever it be tends to listen a bit more, and they contacted him and says, yes, we've looked into it and we've noticed that the person that actually hacked your account has done it through your old dead Red Ring of Death console. So what had happened is obviously with his dead console he had sold it. He couldn't actually delete any data off it or anything like that because it was dead. Now somebody's obviously fixed it, found his Xbox Live account and then hacked it through there. So the thing is, remember, if you ever do come to sell an old console that's broken, it may be worth just trashing the hard drive completely if you can't actually turn it on, because people can get into your account and obviously do such damage. So, from Microsoft to Nintendo, they're going to get a bit as well. Now, obviously I've been saying lately, Nintendo I'm enjoying, and my main problem for Nintendo is simply the poor online experience that they actually give you. Not many games are online, and if they are, they're not the most amazing games. Now, fair enough, that said, obviously they're getting better, especially with the new Wii U, it sounds like it's going to be awesome. But with what games we do have, Joe's been trying to play with Dogma Lens, and they just want to play online together. And it started off, they wanted to play Monster Hunter, which by Capcom, And yeah, put it in, and you have to play for so long to actually be able to unlock the online experience. And they did, and then they couldn't find each other. And every time I was going through the servers, they didn't appear to be on the same server together. So they got Skype working, webcammed each other, looked at it, and then noticed that they was getting completely different information on both the consoles. And then they actually realised that it's region locked. So Holly, who was in Canada, and Joe, which was in that room, couldn't connect to each other. And they had a look, and Capcom completely just split it by region. No other regions can connect to each other, which is a bit stupid, in fact very stupid, because the thing is, why would you do that? Because people all around the world will at one point want to play with each other. So that aside, obviously they was annoyed, and they went off and had a look for which of the very few games are compatible for online play, and one was Endless Oceans. So they got Endless Ocean and they added each of us friend codes, and both of them come back saying incompatible. Now this one is a Nintendo server, and Nintendo are the ones who aren't letting the regions connect to each other. So Holly raged and contacted Nintendo of America and simply says, what the hell? And they looked into it, came back and says, yes, it's locked to regions, sorry, you can't connect to your friend. And she just turned around and says, okay then, fair enough. What can I connect to with my friend? You tell me a game I can purchase so I can play with my friend. And they turned back and said they didn't know. They don't actually know what games you can play. So this is Nintendo saying, yes, you can use the Wii to play online, but we don't know what games you can play online with. So that's really, really poor of them. So also, while she was on the phone, she asked if her new game, can't remember the name of it, is actually going to be compatible across the world. And they turn around and simply says they think it is. Not 100% sure, so it's best to rent it first. So that's Nintendo just saying, we're not too sure what we're making. So yeah, again, that's really poor service of somebody who wants to use Nintendo to play online, and Nintendo won't allow them. Let's go to the third person, Sony. Sony have actually done something quite good. Now, with the introduction of the new Vita, what they've simply said is if you buy a game, that's fair enough. But if you want to buy it digital, we'll sell it you cheaper. Now this is a first, because I cannot understand. I'm going to go for Microsoft here, because I was on the computer, so just jumped on, typed in Fable as an example. Now Fable 2, you can buy for 99 pence everywhere. It's cheap. But if you want to buy it digitally from Microsoft, it will actually cost you $19.99. So if you're thinking, wow, that's pretty good, I might get Fable 3. They're selling that at $29.99. Now that's only £10 cheaper than when it came out on release. So $29.99 for a digital copy of a game, which is actually quite old. And the weird thing is, PC games normally sell cheaper, but Microsoft's actually selling Fable 3 on the PC for $34.99. So that's even dearer. I don't understand what's going on up there. So it just annoys me that they think they can get away with charging such prices. Now drop your prices. You're not paying for packaging, you're not paying for somebody to actually lug it around, you're not paying for transport, all these things you haven't got to pay for. So it should be cheaper. Everyone understands it should be cheaper, but yet you still charge more. But no, Sony have simply said that if you buy it digitally, it will be cheaper, which is awesome. So nice one, Sony. Right, so I've mentioned this in the past. I'm a Half-Life fan, and obviously rumours kicking around. Is it going to be Half-Life Episode 3 or Half-Life 3? Is it coming out? Is it ever going to come out? Rumours left, right and centre. And the thing is, Valve aren't actually helping themselves. They're not actually turning around and saying yes or no. They're kind of just being very murky and going, we don't know what's happening, and making everyone run around in a panic and they don't know what's going on. Now, that's kind of, one hand, cool. Like, if I was a developer, I'd love to actually stir some stuff up so everybody starts on the hype wagon and they're like, what's coming out, what's coming out? But at the same time, you do need to confirm, really, to some people that we are working on something. You ain't got to spill the guts and say, look, here's all our source code. All you need to do is say, yes, it will be here around then. And at least give somebody something to hold on to. Now, they're not doing that. They're not saying anything, not budging, completely tight-lipped. And it's annoyed a lot of Half-Life fans. So there's a movement happening on Saturday. Now what the idea is, there's going to be a protest. It's a very, very bad protest. Lots of damage is going to be done. We're all going to sit down and play Half-Life 2. Yeah. So yeah, very peaceful protest. All it is everyone who's a fan is all going to log on and play Half-Life 2 on Tuesday. And obviously, we're going to see the stats go through the roof of everyone playing it. So far, 30,000 people have registered their names to be playing Half-Life on Saturday. And it should just prove that there is a massive fan base there. And it's just a way to get them to look and acknowledge all the fans and say, okay then, we'll give you a piece of information. it is being done and it's going to be released around then. So if you want to see any information about Half-Life, or if you just fancy playing Half-Life again, log in on Saturday and show your support. Right, now this is a news story which is gone round at the moment, and I'm pretty excited to say me and my mate started it. So what it was is this week my friend Mick and Andy went out and brought a 3DS. With me having a 3DS, thought he'd get on the bandwagon and he'll purchase one himself. And it was second hand, and as soon as you turned it up, had a look through, someone's left the photos on it. And as you do, you have a quick skim through, and this guy in there rocking a big bong. So we thought it was quite funny, a guy smoking weed, that's it, that's kind of as far as it went. Then when I was at work, I was pacing around the car park and I thought, you know what, actually that's quite bad, because fair enough, we're a bunch of guys that would laugh at this, but for instance, imagine if I had a child that I had purchased my 3DS for and I simply gave it him before I'd even looked at it. The thing is, that's bad, and the thing is, okay, fair enough, he's only smoking weed, but that could have been a lot worse. That could have been a photo of something else in 3D, and you would just pass it down to your child, they would open it up, and do you know what I mean? That could have been bad. So with that in mind, I says to him, you know what you should do? Complain. So we tried to look for the complaints email, Game Station, no complaints email you can find. So we got the CEO's email address, went straight for the top boss and says, we're not happy with this, you know what I mean, this could have been a lot worse, why aren't you wiping consoles before you sell them? And we got a response straight back saying, yes, this is something that we do, but obviously this got through the net, here's £25, shut up, kind of email. So that was that. Was that right? Fair enough, we'll write this up, make an article out of it, stick it on gamingunity.com, which we did. And that was kind of it. That's the end of the story. So later that afternoon, I was sat at work and I got an email from my host simply saying that the bandwidth on my server had shot through the roof and it looks like I was under attack. So I was about to shut my server down and says, please respond if you can explain why your bandwidth has gone so high. So I had a look, and Coca2.com had picked up on the article and ran with it and instantly sent 10,000 users to the server within a few hours. So the server went absolutely nuts. But with that, obviously, all the users started posting it, tweeting it, Reddit, it went all around, and it's kind of just mini viral going around at the moment, and photoshops are coming out, so people editing all kind of different faces on the guy, and it's quite funny to see it all explode, to just think it was actually started off by us to just writing an article for our own website. So that's pretty awesome. But all laughing aside, it's actually still a serious issue that, as I said earlier, a guy had a broken Xbox, sold it, then he was hacked. Now this guy has left some photos on there. Luckily enough, I blurred his face because I'm a nice guy, but I could have just put them online, and next minute that's gone around. There's hundreds of thousands of people seeing that guy now, and it only takes one of his friends to see it and go, oh my god, that's you, and then he could put it on Facebook and it could quite easily get back to him. Now that would embarrass that guy, hence why I blurred his face. But the point is, when you come to sell something, you just don't know what someone's going to do with it. So always wipe your data. If you can't wipe your data, destroy it in any way you can, because just don't trust anybody when you sell on an item. It's time for some EA. Let's start. It's good EA time this time. I know, not bad EA, good EA news, which is a bit crazy. Now, what's happened is obviously Syndicate's on its way out. The game looks absolutely awesome. It's got online co-op features. Everything about it so far is making me go, this looks like a good game. So first of all, I'm going to stop looking at it now, because every time I get hyped about a game, it normally turns out to be absolute. So I'm going to stop looking at the game now, because I may spoil it for myself. Now, with Syndicate being owned by EA, and it also having online features, that also means EA Online Pass £10. So obviously if you buy a game second hand, you have to pay $10. Can't remember what the actual UK equivalent is, but nonetheless you have to pay again to actually be able to get online. And that's going through all of EA's games. Now EA have turned around and says they are not going to apply this to Syndicate because they want to encourage people to play the online co-op. Yeah, which is very, very weird. So for some reason they're not doing it. Now, when an evil company such as EA does something like that, you always think, what's the long-term plan? What are you planning, EA? And they've not actually said it's just for a period. They've said, full stop, it's going to be free, which is very weird of them. But who can moan? If you want to buy it second-hand now, you can, and you haven't got to pay for an additional content. So that simply leaves us with the question of the week, and this is going to be a very simple one. If you could only purchase one game for 2012, what would it be? Obviously, it doesn't have to be out yet. It could be something like Tomb Raider that's obviously on the cards for this year, or it's something that could have already been released in January. Now, mine is going to be very obvious. Mass Effect 3. That's the game for me this year. If I could only purchase one, it would be Mass Effect. So, if you could only purchase one game this year, what would it be? And that's it, guys. I'm going to enjoy this very lovely beer, and I'm going to sit and play some Zelda, I think. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.